Let me just synopsize what we learned in the Medrash Rabbah and Shaar last night on Sunday. Shiurim at the beginning of Shiurim. So, Shlomo HaMelech, thank you. Shlomo HaMelech writes, "Yishakeni in Shikos Pihu." This was a bakasha of Shlomo HaMelech that Hashem should kiss me min Shikos Pihu. So there should be this Shika Pel Peh. And the Medrash explains that he was talking about what began with Matan Torah. And Matan Torah, take a look maybe the Medrash himself. Second. Reb Yehuda b'shem Reb Yehuda bar Reb Simon, Reb Yehuda Reb Nechemia. B'shosh Shama Yisrael Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Here we were at Har Sinai, and we heard Anochi Hashem Elokecha. So at that moment, Niska Talmud Torah b'libam v'hayu lemedim v'lo hayu meshachtim. With Anochi Hashem Elokecha somehow came the whole Torah, everything that you need to know about Torah came. V'hayu lemedim, and they were learning v'lo hayu meshachtim. There was no such thing as shikha. As I said on Sunday, it's an unforgettable experience. You're hearing HaKadosh Baruch Hu talking, and he's saying Anochi Hashem Elokecha. They got it, they got it all, and they never would have forgotten it. But Bo Eitzel Moshe, they then came to Moshe v'amru, and they said, Klal Yisrael came to Moshe, whoever that they is, Moshe Rabbeinu Teyasa at Prosbion Shaliach Benoseinu. We don't like the system of hearing Hashem. We're asking you to be the prosbion. A prosbion is like a broker. You be the broker, the Shaliach Benoseinu. Shenemar, it says in the Torah, Mefurish Daber Ato Imanu Benishma V'Ato Lama Namus. So the pasuk says that they heard Anochi Hashem Elokecha, and the Medrash says that they, after they heard Anochi Hashem Elokecha, they said, "This is not working for us. You speak to us. You speak to Hashem, and then you speak to us. You tell us what Hashem said." V'Ato Lama Namus. We feel like we're going to die if we hear Hashem keep on speaking to us. Why would they feel like they're going to die? Unclear. And the Medrash says, so Moshe Rabbeinu started talking. And then after Moshe, in other words, Moshe Rabbeinu continued with the Aseres Dibros. Chazru liyos l'meidim v'shoichin, and they started to have shikha. Amru ma Moshe basar b'dam ha'over, av Talmudai over, miyad chazru balahem Moshe, amru lo Moshe Rabbeinu levayi gala lanu pam shniya. Then they realized that Hashem stopped talking to them, so they had charata, and they said, we want to hear straight from Hashem. And that's the pshat in the pasuk, Yishakeni min neshikos pihu. We're missing the neshika of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Levayi taka Talmud Torah b'libeinu k'mo shahay. Let it be like it was at the beginning of the Aseres Dibros. Amar lahem, so Moshe said, Ein zo achshav. No. You've missed that opportunity. It's not for now. Lasad Lavahu. That'll be Lasad Lavai, says the pasuk in Yirmiyahu. Shenemar Nasati is Terasi Bekirbam Valibam Echtavenu. That there will come a time that I will give them the Torah direct. Bekirbam Valibam Echtavenu. So I pointed out that's probably the pshat in Musaf Kedusha, where we say that there will come a time, Lasad Lavai, when Mashiach comes, the Hu Yashmienu Shenis. There'll be a second hashma of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's what we're all singing about on Shabbos. Hu Yashmienu Shenis Leinei Kol Chai. The Shenis, this time it'll be, everybody is going to see that Klal Yisrael is getting this nevuah. But now, meaning now at Har Sinai, it's not the right time. Ein zu achshav. Nechemi says a little bit different, is the pshat that when they heard Lo Yeh Lecha, that they didn't only hear the first commandment, they heard the first two commandments. Lo Yeh Lecha, Neker Yetzer Hara Milibam, and all Yetzer Hara was gone. All desire for sin had left them. Bo Eitzel Moshe, they said to Moshe, we feel like we're dead. I guess when you don't have a Yetzer Hara, you feel like you're dead. And they say, you be the shaliach between us, same type of thing. So Moshe started to talk, and the same thing after Moshe started to talk, they said, no, Yishakenu min shikos fiyu. And Moshe Rabbeinu said, Ein zo achshav, la silava, and he brings here the Medrash a different pasuk. In Yecheskel, the first one was from Yirmiyahu, Vasi Roisi Isleva Evan Mibsarcha. In other words, according to both opinions in the Medrash, Klal Yisrael heard the first two of the Aseres HaDibros. They asked Moshe to ask Hashem to stop talking. This is too traumatic for us to have Hashem talking. You be the shaliach. Moshe Rabbeinu said, okay, I'll be the shaliach. So Moshe Rabbeinu started talking. And then Klal Yisrael seems to, according to this Medrash, had charata. And they said, no, Yishakenim and Shikois Pihu, that we want to hear Hashem. And he said, no, you missed it. This is Al Derech, the Gemara that says that Kisharatzisi lo Ratzisa, Achshav Shata Reitzani, and he writes. The Gemara says such a thing by Moshe Rabbeinu a number of times, by the Sneh, other places, that when I wanted to be Megala to you, you weren't interested. Now you want? I'm not interested. I don't think this is, I pointed out on Sunday, it's not a Kodesh Baruch Hu being mean or Midas Hadin here necessarily, but the pshat is the fact that you couldn't take it, the fact that you didn't want it, shows you're not holding. And if you're not holding, so you're not holding. So when are you going to be holding? Now you feel, okay, we were pushed away. We want to hold. So, okay, you'll be holding when your Mio's Nevuah comes true of Nasati is Terasi Bekirba Maliba Mechtavano, or when Yecheskel's Nevuah comes true of Asiroisi is Leva Evan Mivsarcham, then we'll talk, literally. But now we're not going to talk. So I just felt at the end of the Shaar on Sunday a total lack of clarity as to the sequence and the chronology of what exactly happened over here. But according to what we see in the Medrash, and what I really mamish just learned a little bit of Chumash with you to get it clear. But what we learned in the Medrash was, what it seems from the Medrash is that they were all standing at Har Sinai, and where was Moshe at this moment? You're raising your hand, or you're pointing up? Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay. He was up on top of the mountain. And somehow they got to Moshe and they said, right? So I think Moshe asked, our Moshe asked, like how they get this message to him. You know, the cell phone. What was the? No, we don't want to hear Hashem anymore. So Moshe started talking. Then how did Moshe talk? So Moshe was Machadish again, which is sort of Mashma and Rashi, that it was like Hashem amplified his voice, and somehow from the top of the mountain we all heard. Confusing. Where were we? Where was he? How did this?
But there is a precedent for us hearing his voice, because in the whole Parshas Devarim, he spoke supposedly to all the Klal Yisrael ever.
Yeah, he wasn't on top of a mountain.
True.
Yeah. I mean, you're saying two chidushim here. One chidush is that he spoke to a lot of people. So there's this nest that you're saying. I'm saying good. There was this nest. We know about this nest that HaKadosh Baruch Hu amplified his voice, which I presume is where other religions got the idea from. You know, the Sermon on the Mount, Lahavdil, and these kind of things. Always like his magnified voice. So you have to say that whenever it says Vayidaber Moshe al Bnei Yisrael, so either you could say he said it to Aaron, to the Zakenim, and they spread it out, or you could say that he spoke and everybody heard. But I just want to just get a little bit of clarity. If you go to where this is all about, Sarah said, if you go to Parshas Yisroi, Parak Yutes, it's maybe Kedai. I'm a little bit radical here, because what I really love to do in life is to try to, at least for the few minutes, forget everything you learned and everything you heard, all the stories you heard in Sunday school, and let's just see what actually happened from the Chumash. It's very difficult to do that. It's very difficult to do that because we have this whole picture and paintings, and we've been hearing about it for years, often from people that didn't know. Yeah, that's the. So, if you, Let me just tell you that the story of Har Sinai is not a long story. It starts in Perek Yutes of Shmois. There's a hefsek of Elam Mishpatim, and then the story picks up in Perek Chavdal of Shmois. So there's two prakim in Parshas Mishpatim. You know, like Matan Torah is half in Parshas Yisroi and half in Parshas Mishpatim. So in Mishpatim, it's a short thing in Mishpatim, in Perek Chav Daled. I'm not going to learn, I'm going to do your test first, but I'm just showing you how it continues. Chav Daled in Parshas Mishpatim says, Ve'al Moshe Amar Alei El Hashem Atov Aaron Nadav V'Avihu V'Shivim Ziknei Yisrael. And the Mefarshim all explain, which is Pashut, that the story starts in Perek Yutes and ends in Perek Chav Daled, but it's the Pashtus HaMikra. Sometimes you could say Ein Seder Mukdam U'Muchar B'Torah if you have to. The Gemara says that sometimes, but the Pashut of Pshat is like it says in the Chumash. That's the like we don't have to say drushes to make it fit in with our thinking. Just let's go in order, chronological order. So Perek Yutes, if you have it, it's beautiful. Just let's try to learn it quickly. B'chodesh hashlishi, l'tzeis b'nei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim b'yom hazeh ba'u midbar Sinai. So it was the chodesh hashlishi. What month is that? Sivan. Like now, tonight is Rosh Chodesh. L'tzeis b'nei Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim b'yom hazeh ba'u midbar Sinai. They came to the Sinai desert. Meaning you go out of Egypt, you're not yet into the Sinai desert. You have to travel for 46 days, right, to get to the Sinai desert. Yisu, right, wherever it is, it's not across the Nile. You have to go a little, not across the Yamsuf. Yisu Merfidim, they went from Merfidim, Vayavoyim Midbar Sinai, Vayachnu Midbar, Vayichan Sham Yisrael, Neged Ahar, and they came to the mountain. And there they stood next to the mountain. What was it? Why was this the mountain? So it was the mountain because this was the mountain. The Pasuk of Pshat is this was the mountain that Moshe Rabbeinu was familiar with, because this was already the mountain probably that that he had the Gilui of the Sneh. Because at the Sneh he said that you're going to come back, v'tavdun el ahar hazeh, you'll worship me on this mountain. So they got to the mountain. And then it says, Moshe Allah el ha'alikim. That was quick, right? No Shavuos, no Matan Torah. Moshe is Allah el ha'alikim. Vayikra elav Hashem min hahar leimar kaisamer lebeis Yaakov hagil Yisrael. So Moshe Rabbeinu was Allah el ha'alikim, which means the Pashut of Pshat is, this was when? This was on Yom HaSheni, Rashi says. Yom HaSheni. V'chol al Yosef ba'ashkama, and it was first thing in the morning. V'yashki Moshe ba'boker. So Moshe went up, climbed this mountain, the familiar mountain to him. And Hashem said the following. He didn't say 10 Commandments, he didn't say Torah, he said the following. This is what I want you to tell. He went up to the mountain, he had a nevuah. And the nevuah was that this is what you should tell the Beis Yaakov v'saglim Yisrael, tell all the men and women the following. Atem re'isem, asher asisi l'mitzrayim. Everybody aware that Hashem had this whole Hashem had this speak before there was the Dibros? What then? What was the other choice? Vayikra Elav Hashem. Like every time it says Vayikra, whole sefer Vayikra, as Hashem called him to the Holy Light. He had a could have been Belpeh, whatever. That was just a question of degree in Nevuah. How much of a Nevuah? Nevuah means Hashem spoke to man. So Hashem spoke to man. Look, you saw what I did in Mitzrayim. I took you out on eagle's wings. I brought you here. Here is where? Har Sinai. So now tell the people like this. We have a covenant. Covenant refers to the agreement that I made with Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. You want to be a special people. From all of the nations, you say, well, all the nations, Kili Kol Haaretz, I own all the nations. So there was a nevuah. Moshe Rabbeinu was Allah Elohim. By the way, I must mention that the Abarbanel says that he didn't climb the mountain at all. It says that Lashon of the Abarbanel, you can look it up, and the Ramban brings it, and Ezra brings it. Allah Elohim b'nevuah, meaning b'machshava. Allah Elohim doesn't mean that doesn't say, in other words, Vayichan Shem Yisrael Nagad Ahara Moshe Allah El Elohim. Doesn't say Moshe climbed the mountain. He meditated and he connected with Hashem. That's all it says here. It doesn't say that necessarily he was climbing the mountain. We're just making that assumption. Well, everything happens on top of the mountain there. It doesn't say that he climbed the mountain. It just says Moshe Allah Elohim. So I looked in the Rishonim. The Rishonim say that probably he didn't climb the mountain. He was just standing there at Har Sinai. And at Har Sinai he had a nevuah. Very important.
Well, why is it important?
I'll tell you. Vayavo Moshe, because there's no, we're not Har Sinai, right? Vayavo Moshe v'yikra l'ziknei tachtas har, v'yikra l'ziknei ha'am v'yasam l'fleim. He called the Zikanim, so there's no great amplification miracle here, right? He called over the Zikanim, had a meeting. You're the leaders of the Jewish people. V'yasam l'fleim is called Dvarim ha'elu asher tzivahu Hashem. What was the tzivui that he told them? Tell the people, in other words, spread out the following, that we have a bris over here, we have a relationship, we have a covenant, and I want you to be, I took you out of Mitzrayim, you saw that, I want you to be a special people, I want you to be a chosen people, I want you to be an Am Segula Mikolo Amin. That's what the message is. So there was one message, which I believe, by the way, I'm projecting my own Amaratzes on you, so I apologize for that, but this is a whole separate, this could have been enough. What? It's the idea who you are. Meaning this little story here that most people kind of skip over as some kind of prelude to the main story could have been a story unto itself. This is a great story. We get out of Egypt, we come to the mountain. Moshe Rabbeinu has a nevuah, tells it to the Zikanim, and the nevuah is, you are a special people. Now speak. You don't need any mitzvahs. You don't need anything. Just a special people. Information, and why are you being such a reductionist? It's not just information. You are not a regular people.
Other religions have been started for much less.
No, but I'm saying that this was transformative. What they heard this information from the Skalim, and now they.
Okay.
Because he's saying there's a deal here. You need to
well, that's information too.
The prelude, though. It's saying
there's a bris.
Yeah.
What's important here, I'll tell you what you're getting at. What's important here is that besides for the whole story, I'm just going to give it, besides for the whole story of Har Sinai, Matan Torah, Kabbalas Torah, all of that, what's important is a side, which is not an aside, maybe this is the Iker, but another string which is going through this whole Maisa, this whole Sipur, and that is that there's a bris. Bris. What were the luchos called? Shnei luchos? A bris. It's about that's what's important. What's important here is that it's all covenantal. Covenantal means that Hashem spoke to Avraham, and he said, Geri Yazaracha Beretz Le'lahem, you're going to go through a Mitzrayim, and you're going to come out of Mitzrayim. Hello, I'm here, I'm being Makayim, my bris. We made a deal because of the Avos, because of Schus Avos. We made a covenant, you will be here forever. But you need to know, call it information, but you need to know what a bris is. By the way, a bris, important to know, is always a two-way, otherwise not a bris. It's not a command, it's a bris. A bris is that over and over and over in the Torah is ani mamirech avata mamirenu. Like I'm going to lift you up and you're going to lift me up. You're going to be the Orel Goyim. Everywhere throughout Tanakh, it's all about the bris. It's all about this bris. A bris, nothing to do. Not talking about. No Orla was taken off here, except for the Orlas Halev. There was a re-establishment is the covenant that we talked about. Maybe you heard about it in Mitzrayim. This is what's going on here now.
So it's preparing for saying everything we're going to do following this now is b'shem this bris.
But why preparing? Preparing is mashma. There's something else going to happen. Not necessarily. At this moment, nothing else is going to happen.
It's not a mitzvah. I don't have to. You don't have.
It's a bit, as you say, an important piece of information. This is the kiyum of the bris. Maybe you think you're going to go back to Mitzrayim. Maybe you think the Amalekim are going to take you over. No. Right now we are fulfilling the bris. I'll tell you what's bothering me about what you're saying. Let's say I'll tell you, Rabbi Mashiach came. Interesting. Another piece of information. Of course it's transformative. Of course it's a life-changing. And of course, you would have me institutionalized. But I was saying, somebody comes with that's like, you can't call it like, oh, I read in the paper. It's a Eila Divrei Bris. This is the bris. Eila Hadvarim Asher Tadaber El Bnei Yisrael. Vayover Moshe. Let's go a little bit further, please. Yover Moshe V'Yikra Ziknei Am V'Yasem L'Pnei Kol Hadvarim Eila Asher Tzivahu Hashem Mitzvah Tzivahu Hashem Torah. V'Yanu Kol Am Yachtav, and it was at this point the Klal Yisrael v'Yoimru, and they said, Kol Asher Diber Hashem Naseh, which is the first half of Naseh v'Nishma, and they said, we will do whatever Hashem wants us to do. Naseh. Kol Asher Diber Hashem Naseh. The first half of it doesn't say Naseh v'Nishma.
It doesn't say Yidaber, it says Diber. It's Mashman talking about whatever mitzvahs they got. Right?
I'm not sure. Vayashav, I'm not sure. Let's see. Vayashav Moshe as Divrei Ha'am El Hashem. There's your bris. You see, Moshe comes back and he says, the people said Nasa. They said Nasa. Now what? Vayomer Hashem El Moshe. So Hashem says to Moshe, okay, here's your instructions. Your
the Zkanim went and said, are you in?
Yeah, are you in? And they said they're in. Moshe Rabbeinu goes back to Hashem in some form of nevuah. Again, it's not clear that he ever climbed a mountain at this point. It doesn't say, or the Chumash here. They climbed a mountain, and the Rishonim say he didn't climb any mountains. No mountain climbing involved. This was just simply nevuah at the bottom at the foot of the mountain, or at the place of Hahar. The place. This was very significant, as I said before, to Moshe. The Har was very significant because this was known to be a holy place to Moshe. Vayomer Hashem Moshe. Okay, so you're in, I'm in, here's what we do. Vayomer Hashem Moshe, Hine Anochi Bo'elecha Ba'av Ha'anon. I'm going to come to you in the thicket of a cloud. By the way, it's interesting, the Av is the same lashon that's used by the Akedah. You use a lot of times this thickness, right? The thicket. Ba'avur Yishma Am B'dabri Imach. I want everyone to hear how I'm talking to you. Because the part of the bris is not just me, it's you too. I want them to believe in you. Vayagin Moshe's Diram El Hashem. So, what's that? Hashem said to Moshe, Vayagin Moshe's Divrei Ha'am El Hashem. What did the Yam say? Nasa. He already said that, didn't he? Vayomer Kol Asher Divrei Hashem Nasa. Vayashav Moshe's Divrei Ha'am El Hashem. And now it says, Vayagin Moshe's Divrei Ha'am El Hashem. So there's a Chiddush here?
Yeah, there must be something going on. Rashi's over on. There must be something going on that's not written down.
Okay.
Moshe could have carried on while the Zkanim went on their mission.
Shemati mehem shuritzonam lishmayim mimcha. He told them again, as Rav Yitzchak says, they want to hear you. So it must be, what's going on is that, first they said, in other words, the first thing that Hashem said is, we've got a bris going on here. The second thing he said is, Vayomer Hashem Moshe, that there's going to be an Ava Anon, and the people are going to hear me talk to you. They're going to hear me talk to you. Apparently, says Rashi, Hashem said that, okay, I shared that with the people, and as Rashi says, Vayaged Moshe bayom hamachresh uhervi lechodesh es divrei ha'am shuva al davar zeh shamati mehem sheritzaynam lishmaya mimcha. This is very important for me. I heard from them that they do want to hear from you. They want to hear from you.
Which is strange because Hashem said they were going to hear it. They were going to overhear it. Hashem said they were going to overhear it. I'm talking to. So what's the difference between?
They're going to hear. But before he just said there's a bris, and they said nasa.
Yeah.
Now he says there's going to be a gilui.
Right, and the people are going to overhear.
New thing. The people are going to overhear. But then, so Moshe Rabbeinu came back. Listen to Rashi. Shuva al davar zeh. I told them the Shuva. Shamati mehem sheritzaynam liv shmaya mimcha. Einoi doima shemeya mipi hashaliach l'shemeya mipi hamelech. Now Hashem proposed l'chatchila, I'll speak to you, and they will overhear. Moshe Rabbeinu, according to Rashi, somehow knows that no. Moshe said to Hashem, they actually want to hear directly from you because they don't want to hear from a shaliach. It's mashma, they don't want to overhear, they want to hear. Ritzoynenu lirais es malkeinu. That's lashon Rashi brings from the Mechilta. We want lirais, not chazal. Leroy says volcano. Like, not only, so the new Chiddush here, again, we haven't got any mitzvahs per se, but we have a negotiation, like a preamble to the big mitzvah. One of them is, there's a covenantal agreement going on here, right? Does this sound like a legal process, right? Am I right? First, there's like, this is party one, this is party two. This is what we're deciding. Number two is, okay, they'll hear me, overhear me. And Moshe Rabbeinu goes back, they're not so good with the overhearing, they want to hear. Ritzonenu lir'ois malkeinu. We want to hear, right? Says the Torah further, Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, okay? Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, lech el ha'am, go to the people, v'kidashtem hayoim u'machar v'chipsusim leisam. Okay, for that, you need to make some serious preparation, and you have to be matar yourself. By the time the third day came about, they were nechayim. They were in good shape. Because what's going to happen is that on the third day, apparently as per the request of the people, not as per Hashem's suggestion, but anyway you want to learn it, Bayom Hashlishi, Ki Bayom Hashlishi Yered Hashem Le'enei Kol Ha'am Al Har Sinai. That again, there's no shmiya here because they said Ritzonenu Liroi Ses Malkeinu. They want to see. So now Hashem is going to be Yered Hashem Le'enei Kol Ha'am Al Har Sinai.
So is that what the chiddush is between Pasuk Tes and now?
Pasuk Tes is
says, I'm going to let them hear me.
Shmiya.
No. Oh.
And here they're talking about Hashem says, okay, you can see me. And you want to see me. Why can't you hear me? Like, why does he change senses here? Vayar ha'om es hakolos. This is not Kabbalah, like a Pasuk Shaar.
From the Rambam in Kehillat Shivtei so he says Gam Echad Beyamin Olam. That's the whole raya for the nevuah of Moshe Rabbeinu. So it's mashma that they did hear him speak with Moshe. Then he said, and
it's going to be you don't need the Rambam. You're going to hear the pasuk.
He brings the psukim, right? So apparently that that Tanai of hearing from Moshe was a very big ikar.
To Hashem.
Huh?
To Hashem. At this point.
For us, in order that we should believe in.
So let's not jump because I want to let the pasuk talk to you.
Okay.
V'igbalta sa'am saviv leimor. You're right on it with the Rambam, but I want to just see what the Torah says. That's what. V'igbalta sa'am saviv leimor. Everyone gathered around the mountain. Hishamru lachem leimor. V'igbalta sa'am, rather. You should gather everyone. Hashem said to Moshe again in a nevuah. As far as we know, this was just a nevuah b'tachtis hahar, in the holy place. So Moshe Rabbeinu gets a nevuah, speaks to the Zkanim speaks to the people. No amplification, no mountain. Yom HaShlishi, then we're going to have some kind of a thing that by Yered Hashem le'enei kol ha'am al Har Sinai. Because this did not happen yet. And so Hashem says, V'igbalta sa'am, here's the conversation going further. That's what they want. V'igbalta sa'am saviv leimor, get everyone to be around the mountain and tell them, Yishamar lechem alois bahar nagoya b'katseo. Okay, but don't get too close to the mountain. Kol anageya bahar mois yumas. They will die. If I'm on the mountain, they will die. So Hashem is telling them about this mos yumas thing of getting too close. Don't get near the mountain. Leisiga bayad. Hisakol yisakel. Yora yirarim. Behema im ish loy yichyu. A behema is going to go stroll onto the mountain on Shavuos. He's done. Like that's what's going to happen. What does that mean, Yitzchak? Somebody help me.
Only when they hear the
then
Shaar,
what?
they know that it's much of it once again to go back up onto the mountain.
So they're going to go back on the mountain and climb the mountain.
What's Yovel here?
Shofar, I guess. Moshe says it's a shofar. Means a tekiya gedolah. Vayered Moshe min hahar el ha'am. Now here, you already see that Moshe Rabbeinu was on a mountain. We don't know where on the mountain, to be clear, but Vayered Moshe min hahar el ha'am. Vayikadesh ha'am, vayichabsu sim loisam. He did a tahara process on the people. Vayomer alam hayu nechanim l'shloishes yamim. You have 3 days to get yourselves ready. I'll teach you al isha. Stay away from women. No women.
Why Vayehu?
Why?
He hasn't, according to what we just said before, he hasn't been up yet.
Correct. That was my kasha. Right. Where is it going down from? Says the Ramban. If you're asking already, I'll answer. There are different parts of the mountain. There's the Av Ha'anan. There's Vanigash El Ha'arafel. There's the peak of the mountain, Arosh Har Sinai. He was standing on some part of this mountain. I know this is different than what everybody learned in Cheder, but it does say that he was on some kind of a height, plateau.
Above Kollel.
He was elevated. Wow, unbelievable. Kolos, Brakim, third day, Anon Kaved. The cloud al Hahor. They looked up and they saw the cloud. Kol Shofar, Chazak Ma'od, Vayechad Kol Am Asher B'Machaneh. Chazal say that the whole mountain was shaking. The whole mountain was shaking. It's a phenomenon. Vayotze Moshe Sa'am, Likras Elokim Min HaMachaneh, Vayisyatzu B'Sachtis Hahar. Now let's count cup here. Where was Moshe now? Down. Let's keep track. Right, Moshe's down. Vayotze Moshe Es Ha'am. Not that he went to the people, but Vayotze Moshe Es Ha'am. How do you want to translate that?
With.
You went right? Okay. Likras Elokim. Let's go greet the Lord. Min HaMachaneh. Let's come out of the Machaneh. Vayisyatzu, and everybody stood together. Where? B'Tachtis Hahar. So here is a story. Right now, we learned that we are a special people. We learned that we need to become tahar for this experience, right? That's what the Zakanim told us. And we said our response to that was, Kol asher diber Hashem, nasa. We'll do it. Hashem, Moshe Rabbeinu goes down. He comes, he brings the people closer, Bayom HaShlishi, to the mountain. Vayisyatzu didn't bring them on the mountain, but Vayisyatzu, they all stood, B'Tachtis Hahar.
Their expectation is they're going to hear God or see Him. Hear it, because
which is more. So far they're hearing shofar and it's cool.
But in the Naaseh they said Kol Asher Diber. So mashma that we're going to hear Vayehu,
right,
or we're going to hear.
But Hashem said that I'm going to show you. Riyah. Now V'Yisyasu Tachtis Hahar, you're all familiar. The problem with all of us is that we're more familiar with Chazal than with the Chumash. So the Chazal says, "Well, I made Shekaf Aleim Har Kagigas." So Tosfos has a reasonable shot in Har Kagigas that this was such a compelling experience that who's going to say, who's going to, this was like an unbelievable thing called shofar, the mountain was shaking, and I mean this is huge pressure. So the Goyim said later, as Tosfos and Avodah Zarah, the Goyim said later, Klum Kafisa Leino Har Kagigas. What they meant is we never had such an experience. Not that you forced us, you were psychologically forced. This was a psychological coercion. Who's going to say no to this kind of a thing? But this was later. This was 3 days later than they already said Nasa. They already said Nasa. They didn't say Dar Nishma. Bahar Sinai. So here we are. Vayisyatzu b'Tachtis Hahar. Bahar Sinai Oshan Kulei Mipnei Asher Yored Hashem Alav Ba'esh. Hashem comes down on Har Sinai Ba'esh. Vayala Shanai Kesh and Akivshan Vayechrad Kol Hahar Ma'oi. The mountain was shaking. Hashem is there. There's five. Vayikol HaShofar Holech V'Chazek Ma'oi. And here's really the pasuk that I want to underline here in the next. We're running out of time. Moshe Yedaber V'Elokim Yanenu B'Kol. Moshe. Again, help me with the translation here. Everyone knows this pasuk. What?
Moshe would continue to speak.
Moshe Yedaber. Okay, I got that part.
Hashem would amplify.
L'shitasta. Hashem Yanenu. What's Yanenu?
Answer right after.
Answer who's asking you questions here?
Yanenu.
You would repeat. You would amplify. You would repeat.
You're telling me Yanenu means amplify? Which word means amplify here? Yanenu means hand.
Ya'an is to.
Yan. Yan Asher.
Hashem 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 Hashem.
What's that do with it? That's with an aleph.
Fine.
Oh, no.
But he's answering us. No.
Okay, let's Moshe Yedaber Nacham Yananu Velikim Yananu B'Kol. So Moshe speaks, but Hashem is not speaking. He's doing a kol. Kol.
And call to us.
Kol. Shoif. Kol. Kufam Lam.
Right. That's
Right.
us.
A little bit further, if you allow me. Vayered Hashem al Har Sinai al Rosh Hahar. Hashem comes on Har Sinai al Rosh Hahar. Vayikra Hashem LaMoshe el Rosh Hahar, and Moshe Rabbeinu is called to the Rosh Hahar. Vayal Moshe, where's the Rosh Hahar? That's a new one. Rosh Hahar. Vayomer Hashem al Moshe, raid. Go down. Hide bomb. Pen Yarsal Hashem l'Eretz Anachal Menor. If I don't trust them, they're going to touch the mountain. They're going to go on the mountain. They're going to all drop dead. Gama Koyhanim Anigoshim Hashem Yiskadoshu Pen Yifretz Bam Hashem. It's not good. They don't get it. So Moshe goes up. He's a carbon oil of a Yori. Moshe goes up. He comes down. First time he's up. In the meantime, he's with Klal Yisrael all the time. They're getting too close. Vayomer Moshe Hashem lo yuchalam la'alis al Har Sinai. Atzai doisem anu lemor hak belas hahar v'kidashtai. They can't go up. Why can't they? Of course they can. Because with this experience, Kav Alem Har Gegigis, Tachta Sahar, with this experience, nobody's not paying attention here. So Moshe's arguing with Hashem and saying, don't worry about them, they're not getting so close. Hashem lech rei. Lisa Atav Arani Mach V'Akoyim V'Ama Yerushalayim Sal Hashem Panitra Cham V'Yered Moshe Alam V'Yomer Aleim. And then Moshe Rabbeinu. Now this is important. Chaf Hey V'Yered Moshe Alam V'Yomer Aleim. So what is he telling them? Stay away. Stay away from the mountain. Right? Don't touch the mountain. Vayidaber Elikim Es Kol Advarim Ha'Ela Lemor. And now Hashem speaks. Where's Moshe? The bottom. Yes. Now, if this is not a chiddush to you, where was Moshe when the Ten Commandments were given? Bottom, wasn't on the top. He went up. Hashem says, go down. You stay with the people, move them aside. Now we know he went on Har Sinai. I'm not telling you. I'm not Bukhari's. I know he went on Har Sinai, but at this point he speaks the 10 things, and then we have the 10 Commandments. Skip. That's not important. Just want the narrative here. Go to Shvi Perik Pasuk Tesvav. The 10 Commandments are over. Everybody heard, everybody saw, everybody watched the mountain shake, and everybody stood at a distance. And then they said to Moshe, whoa, daber ata imanu v'nishma. You speak to us, let's listen. Nishma, v'al yidaber imanu elikim penamus.
Zipped everything.
Okay, did they hear it? They heard everything already. What do they? Vayomer Moshe Amalti ro. Shkefer kilu v'avor nasay sestem bo'elikim v'avor tia yerasa el pneichem l'filti chefto v'yamid al mirachayk. Moshe nigash el ha'arofel. Now Moshe finally goes up to. They say we don't want to hear from Hashem, which is kind of strange because it doesn't say. But look, let's be clear. All it said was. I'm sorry. All it said was Vayidaber Moshe Elohim Vayomer Aleihem. Then Moshe said Moshe said to them to stay away. And then it says, "Vayidaber Elikim es kol ha'torim ha'ela lemor," to who? We don't know. It's unclear. Vayidaber Elikim es kol ha'torim ha'ela lemor. Ibr tzuzog, right? Lemor. That's how we touch in Cheder. Azoy tzuzog. Like he gave them. He said to them the 10 Commandments. They said, "Pas pasuk tesvav." We see everything. We watch everything. But we don't want to hear from Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu tells them, okay. Moshe, and at this point, Vayamidam mirachik Moshe nigash el harafel asher sham Elokim. So now, for the first time, after the 10 Commandments, after the Aseret Hadibros, after the Naaseh, it says that Moshe Rabbeinu went up for the first time. Moshe nigash el ha'arafel. The arafel, Chazal tell us, that's like mamish the Shechina where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is. into the darkness. It means darkness. He walked into the darkness of the cave. Disappeared up there. This wasn't him standing on the mountain. This was way up. He went up, and Moshe nigash el harafel asher sham o Elokim. So it means like this, just to make it a bekitzer, it means something like this, that there was a havamina, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be miskale to everybody. They said, we're not interested in that, that's too scary for us.
But they said it's after that Aseret Dibros.
After Aseret Dibros. But the experience of Mamish going further than we're going experientially, further than the kolos and the brakim and the electricity on the mountain and the lightning, everything, further than that, to go and to actually have a gilui of Hashem, we're not holding by it. So Moshe Rabbeinu is nigash el harafel. At this point comes the Medrash in and says that they told him, they heard already two things from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shnayim echad shemati, Shnayim echad, Shnayim shemati. We heard two?
Rashi says one.
One. Machlekes is the Medrash.
This layman, before the first Dibra, he brings the Mechilta. He says they answered, no? They answered to each one.
Okay, that's a shita. We're going with the Medrash. Can I go just a minute into Parachav Dalet, Pasuk Aleph, where the story picks up? Moshe Amar, and to Moshe he said, Alei el Hashem atav Aaron nadav avihu shivim mezikna Yisrael v'ishtachavisa mirachak v'nigash Moshe levado el Hashem mehem lo yigashu v'am lo yalu imay. So where we have here in Parachav Dalet, Parshas Mishpatim, is a metzias of how everything looked at Har Sinai. Vayavay Moshe v'yishaber lomas kol adivrei ha'ama kol ha'mishpatim v'yan kolam kol echad v'yamers kol advarim asher dibra Hashem naseh. So now we have naseh. So they already said nishma, so it's really we should be saying nishma v'naseh instead of naseh v'nishma, right? Or naseh, they said naseh, or they said naseh before also, I'm sorry. Vayichtav Moshe kol divrei Hashem v'yashkim b'boiker. Now let me just say one thing, and then we're going to have to learn this in detail on Erev Shavuos, Hashem Sunday, appropriately. But what we need to understand that the sikum of the Rishonim were that there's two possibilities of hearing from Hashem. There's the Kol Hashem and there's the Dvar Hashem. The Rambam says this in Mar Nevuchim. There's the Kol Hashem, there's the Dvar Hashem. Vayaris HaKolos. Who's Kolos? What Kolos? Moshe Daber Velakim Yanenu B'Kol. As the Rambam says beautifully, Hashem said to Avram Avinu, Kol Asher Tomer L'cha Sara Shma B'Kol B'Ruach HaKodesh Shelo. The Rashi says also in Bereshis. Kol is Ruach HaKodesh. A nevuah is like this. A nevuah is that hearing the Kol Hashem is an experience, not an intellectual experience. It's not that Hashem speaks with words. It's a nevuah. All of this, everything we're talking about here, is nevuah. There's
Calling.
A calling, nice. It's a sound. A koil is a sound. What would happen was that a navi, any navi, Yeshayahu, Yirmiyahu, pick your navi, Yoel, Micha, Moshe. Moshe was the biggest navi. A navi is getting the Dvar Hashem and then interpreting it or saying it over. With Moshe Rabbeinu, it was so clear. It was Aspaklaria Meira. It was so clear. But other Nevi'im was Aspaklaria She'ein Meira. Ve'ein Shtei Nevi'im Nisnavim L'davar Echad. They're hearing it differently. The experience of Nevuah, the Rambam writes in the Yad, is like a near-death experience. This is not an easy experience, a near-death experience. They were afraid. So the original plan was, I'm just giving a preview here. The original plan was, Hashem says, let me speak to all the people. They're there b'tachta Sahar, let me speak to all the people. Kol ha'am nevi'im. Alavai, Eldad and Meidad said nevuah, Moshe Rabbeinu said alavai. Yafeh. If that would have happened, there would have really been no great need at this moment for Moshe Rabbeinu b'chlal. Like, you brought us to the mountain, thank you, and we heard, no, but they said we don't. The experience of nevuah, actual nevuah, of hearing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, like Moshe Rabbeinu is doing, we're not holding. We're not in the Madrega. So what happened? We moved to a new place of Moshe Yadaber, not Hashem. Hashem Ya'anenu B'Kol. Pashat Pshat is that Hashem gave the Kol. Moshe had this Kol experience this Kol experience, Kuf Vav Lamed experience, and then he gave that over to the people. Moshe Yedaber, not amplification. Hashem Yanenu Bakol. Hashem was giving the Kol. So here's the it's coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and I'm articulating it to you in words. And Hashem Vayaminu B'cha, they believe that Moshe Rabbeinu was doing this correctly. Vayaminu B'cha La'olam. So how they got to that, but that was Hashem said, if they're not going to hear me, they have to know that you're the man who's interpreting it correctly. And l'chayr, there'll never be another Navi like Moshe. Why do I say l'chayr? Because maybe Mashiach, in some place the Rambam is Zoyser himself. Maybe in some areas Mashiach will be even a bigger Navi than Moshe, but not in Kabbalah HaTorah. When it comes to Torah, when it comes to this experience. So all of this, I believe, according to the Pashut of Pshat, happened b'tach Sahar. It happened b'tach Sahar that Hashem started to speak. Moshe Rabbeinu was at the bottom of the mountain. Hashem started to speak. The people said to Moshe, "Whoa, this is like a near-death experience. We're not holding by such a thing. You talk. Let Hashem hear you. We'll hear the voices, the sounds, and everything. But you do the interpretation. We can't have this experience." So then came the Aseres HaDibros. After the Aseres HaDibros, according to the Chumash, Moshe Rabbeinu is Nigash El HaRafel. Moshe Rabbeinu goes Asher Sham Hashem, which Hashem is there. What did he go there for? What's left to do over here? Once the job is done, right? They heard the Ten Commandments. So the answer is two things, both of them important. One thing is 40 days and 40 nights. He has to learn what all this means. Nice like Signoi, but when he came down finally is Kol HaMishpatim. But more important than that, some say, like the Zohar says, he went up to your Torah Shabbat Peh. I'm not sure what that means, but Shabbat Peh. More important than this, in order for something to be a bris, Chazon Ish explains this, by the way. In order for something to be a bris, it has to be written down, not an experience. A bris, a covenant, is written down. Moshe Rabbeinu went up to get the luchos. The luchos is not a written documentation like a transcription of what just went on. What do we need luchos for? The luchos are shnei luchos habris. Eila divrei habris. The Moshe Rabbeinu got the luchos. This was the covenant. These were the stones of the covenant. When Moshe Rabbeinu broke the luchos, he meant to say the covenant is broken. The Torah remains. Nobody became patur from Torah at that time. He broke the covenant. When he went back on Har Sinai, and we went through a whole Yom Kippur, he reestablished the covenant. It is all a version of the pasuk. The stones had to do with the covenant. The commandments had to do with what we're supposed to do. Two separate things. There is no covenant, and there's no covenant in hearing Hashem. That's an experience of nevuah. So there was an experience of nevuah betachti sahar, and there was a covenantal experience be'arafel hahar, which Moshe Rabbeinu broke those. Tell you just the 1 minute history of the covenant. He re-established them on different terms. You're going to have to do some work now to the covenant. What does psolacha mean? I get my part. I get my part of the covenant. Where's your part of the covenant? So psolacha, you carve out the stones now. Like there is a symbolism here in a two-way covenant. Yeah, you with me on that? There's a psolacha shnei luchos avav. V'chasavti ala luchos advarim asher kesavti ala luchos harishonim asher shibarta. I will this time I'll supply the ksav, you supply the stones. Covenant. There's no such thing as a covenant that I'm paying all the legal fees here. Like this is we have to both do this together. At the end of Moshe Rabbeinu's life, fast forward, before the end, he went into the Oil Moed. What happened in the Oil Moed? Hashem medaber, Moshe medaber v'koseh. Moshe Rabbeinu is writing. He takes the sefer Torah, 13 sefer Torah, and he presents it to the Klal Yisrael, one to each Shevet, puts one in the Mishkan, and he says, here is your new Sefer Habris. So it's not about, there's the Aron with the Aseres HaDibros and with the Shivrei Luchos, and then there's the Sefer Torah, not for everybody to look at it, not as a museum piece, but this is the bris. This is the bris. This is the bris. When you look at the Sefer Torah, it's the bris. What's important here is that we are a mamlechas kohanim v'nam kodesh. It's not what's important is, of course, it's important what it says there. But Eila Divrei Abris, the Chazon Ish says such an important thing. He says the difference between what was written in the Torah and Torah Sheba'al Peh. So it's such an important thing. Think about this for a minute. Why isn't everything written in the Torah, or why isn't everything Ba'al Peh? What do we need a double? This Torah Sheba'al Torah Sheba'al Peh. Why is mixing it so up? The answer is that what was written in the Torah, what's biksav, doesn't make it deraisa. There are many things that Chazal say that are deraisa. What's written in the Torah is part of the bris. What's not written in the Torah is not part of the bris necessarily. You have to do it. It's part of the instruction manual. It's Torah, but it's not part of the bris. Hashem said to do it. You do it. You don't need pigs. But it's not. It's the bris that actually says in the Torah. What it says in the Chumash. The words of the Chumash are the bris. Stronger than that, the Asar Sadibris. What's the significance? Why do you give us 10 commandments if there's 613? The answer is bris. So Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe. So Gemara says in Makos Chaf Gimel, Torah is gematria 611. Shtayim Zu Shamati, right? That you heard to yourself, so that gives you 613. In terms of Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu ended up teaching the Torah. In terms of covenant, Moshe Rabbeinu ended up getting the Luchos and bringing them down to Klal Yisrael, and then the Mishkan HaEdus was Edus of what? The bris. So what's important here, when I'm being mechadish to you, if it's a chiddush to you, is that we need to put everything into different parts. It's extremely important to put everything in different parts. One part is the bris, and that was one complete story. As Chaim said before, whole religions could be based on that. Like there's the bris, you don't need any commandments, you don't need anything. There's the experience of nevuah, and then Yishakeni min shikas pihu, that give us that experience of hearing Hashem, talking to Hashem. La'asad lavai, Moshe Rabbeinu said la'asad lavai. And then there's the experience of the bris, of nevuah, and the information of the Torah itself. What do we do? What do we not do? Which was everybody's nevuah b'tach Shaar. So, like a huge chronological chiddush is that according to this, and the Ramban agrees with me, or I agree with the Ramban, however you want to look at it, is the Ramban is a raya to this. Is that this was all the Aseres HaDibros in the order that it was given was before that was Maimed Har Sinai, but it wasn't about Moshe Rabbeinu being on top of the mountain and screaming miraculously down to the people. If there was a miracle, it was at the one time that it says that the last 8 Dibros, where Moshe Rabbeinu was being the interpreter or the articulator of the Aseres HaDibros, and there it doesn't say he spoke to the Zakenim, and there Rashi says Hashem Yanenu B'Kol, that he gave him a special koach to speak loudly. Seder. It's a minor miracle in the of course in the context of everything else that we're learning here. Okay, we need to finish the story on Shabbos. The Chazon Ish is in the Chazon Ish in Yeridea. It's a good. Maybe I will send that source on WhatsApp.